For decades, Windows has had a complete monopoly on PC gaming, treating the Mac like a sad, irrelevant joke. But now, you might want to look in your rearview mirror, PC Master Race, because Apple is finally catching up, and the gap is closing fast. If you told a PC gamer a few years ago that you were planning to play a heavy AAA title on a MacBook, they'd look at you with the same exact pity you'd give someone trying to beat a tryhard in Smash Bros. Like, dude, do you see the top of that guy's head? You're donezo! And the worst part of it? They weren't wrong. Gaming sucked on a Mac for a long time. A very long time. But the game has completely changed. No pun intended. It's 2026 and your Mac isn't just a pretty machine for your creative work and aesthetic unboxing anymore. It's officially time to update your internal firmware on what these systems can actually pull off. And sooner or later, we will be coming for you, Gabe. Sup, Rotten? To understand how we got here, we have to look at why Mac gaming became such a massive meme in the first place. Back in the 90s and 2000s, PC gaming exploded because of hardware customizability and DirectX. Windows was the Wild West. You could rip over your PC case, swap out graphics cards, overclock your components, and install sketchy drivers until the whole rig practically caught fire. It was awesome. The Mac, on the other hand, was built strictly for design, creatives, and casuals. Because the market was small and porting games was an absolute nightmare, developers completely ignored macOS. For 20 years, Mac users were stuck at the kids' table watching the PC crowd feast while we struggled to run poorly optimized ports months after everyone else had already finished them. It was a dark, depressing time. But then 2020 happened, and Apple stopped playing nice with Intel. They built their own brains from scratch, Apple Silicon. Suddenly, the Mac transformed from a standard work laptop into an absolute processing monster. By combining the CPU, GPU, and unified memory onto a single architecture, these M-series chips started doing things that made traditional PC hardware look incredibly inefficient. Of course, raw hardware power doesn't mean anything if the software isn't there to back it up. Apple knew that they were losing a massive demographic, so they dropped a literal game changer, the Game Porting Toolkit. This is a massive translation layer that essentially lets Windows games run on macOS with shockingly minimal performance loss. Pair that with community tools like Crossover, and the massive wall between PC and Mac gaming is suddenly starting to crumble. You aren't dealing with the laggy, buggy emulation of the past. These games are running at native or near native speeds. So let's do a quick reality check on what this actually looks like in practice. In 2026, the list of games that run smoothly on Mac is getting kind of ridiculous. We aren't just talking about mobile ports or light indie games anymore. We are talking about massive, heavy AAA titles or near natively right on your machine. But first, having a capable controller for these games is ideal. That's why you need to check out today's sponsor's controller, the GameSir G7 Pro 8K Aim Labs Edition. If you're going to embrace gaming on your Mac, you need to make sure your hardware can keep up. You can't be out here playing massive titles with a mushy generic controller that drifts every time you try to aim. Aim Labs is the gold standard for competitive accuracy training, and when they partnered with GameSir, they went all out. This controller features an insane 8,000 Hz polling rate, registering your inputs 8 times faster than standard controllers. It's equipped with magnetic Hall effect thumbsticks, meaning you will never have to deal with stick drift no matter how many hundreds of hours you play. You also get remappable back buttons and physical trigger stops to switch between a long analog pull for racing or a snappy micro switch click for shooters. It features a premium weighted feel, a swappable faceplate, its own charging station, and compatibility across Mac, iPads, and switches. And last but not least, PC via Bluetooth, 2.4G wireless, or wired connection. Level up your setup and stop fighting your hardware. Check out the GameSir G7 Pro 8K Aim Labs Edition at the link in the description below, and shout out to GameSir for sponsoring this video. Let's start with the big one, Cyberpunk 2077. Hell must have really frozen over. If you told me 3 years ago that I'd be walking through Night City on a laptop that doesn't have a dedicated power brick the size of a toaster, I would have laughed you out of the room. And then called the police.
I don't remember inviting you.
But since it dropped on Mac last summer, it has become the gold standard for what the M-series can do. This isn't just a mobile version, this is the ultimate edition, path tracing and all. This game looks better than it does on a PS5. It's using Metal FX upscaling, Apple's version of DLSS, and it is crisp. It's the ultimate flex for sitting in a coffee shop, looking like you're working on a spreadsheet while secretly being a cyber-enhanced mercenary. They'll never know. Next up, we have to talk about the MVP of Mac gaming, Capcom. At this point, Capcom and Apple are basically dating. They have ported everything. You want Resident Evil Village? Is there. RE4 Remake? Native. Resident Evil 7, 2, and 3? All there. It's safe to assume that Requiem will soon follow. But the real star right now is the optimization. Because Capcom uses their RE engine, these games run like a dream. We're talking 4K 60, with the fans on your MacBook Pro barely spinning up. It's eerie. It's like the laptop is bored, while a 10-foot tall vampire lady is chasing you through a castle. If you want to show someone why unified memory actually matters, show them Resident Evil. The loading times are basically non-existent. You click start and you're in the nightmare before you can even regret your life choices. Now, let's pivot to something a little more colorful, but equally deadly. Hades 2. Supergiant Games knows their audience. They released a full version of Hades 2 late last year, and it is a masterpiece of native Mac design. It's the perfect Mac game. Why? Because it runs on everything. Got a high-end Mac Studio? That's an easy few hundred FPS. Got a base model MacBook Air from 3 years ago? It still runs perfectly at an extremely high frame rate. It's beautiful. The art is hand-painted perfection, and the controls on the Magic Trackpad are, dare I say, actually playable? Though seriously, just use a controller. Don't be a hero. It's the game that proves you don't need 80 gigabytes of textures to have the best time of your life on macOS. And we can't talk about 2026 without mentioning the absolute unit that is Crimson Desert. Pearl Abyss pulled off the ultimate pro gamer move by dropping this natively on macOS on day one. And let me tell you, it is a technical marvel. Built on their custom Blackspace engine, this game pushes Apple Silicon to the absolute brink. We're talking sprawling photorealistic open worlds to actually make use of the M4 and M5 ray tracing hardware. If you're rocking the M5 Max, you're seeing lighting and physics that used to require a liquid-cooled PC tower, all while your MacBook stays impressively quiet. It even uses Metal FX upscaling to keep those frame rates buttery smooth during those chaotic, high-octane boss fights. Just a heads up, it's a massive download, and the consensus is to grab it on Steam rather than the App Store to stay current with the patches. And I'm only scratching the surface of just some of the games now available on your Mac right now that you can hop into. I also suggest getting the newly released software Gamehub, which broadens your gaming horizons by letting you play Windows games on your Mac, as well as allowing you to sync your Steam library. Look, let's be real. Is the Windows PC dead? Absolutely not. It's still the default king of the hill, the everything platform for gaming. That's just a fact. But those days of Mac users standing out in the cold, nose pressed against the glass while everyone else plays the latest and greatest, those days are over. We're inside now. We have snacks. The graphics look incredible, and the best part is my laptop doesn't sound like a jet engine trying to achieve liftoff while I play. The whole Mac gaming meme is dead. We can finally bury that. Long live the reality. So, I'm curious. What are you guys actively running natively on your machines right now? Have you finally nuked that Windows partition? Or are you just holding on to it just in case? Let me know in the comments below. And support this one-man team on my Patreon for cool perks along with Vasco, Francisco Beck, and Miss Game. Thank you all for the support as it keeps me dropping videos consistently, and thank you, viewer, for watching. If you want to see more of me, you know what to do. I know this possibly won't happen, but a part of me wants GTA 6 to launch on Mac along with PC next year. I feel like that'll turn the gaming industry upside down. Matter of fact, better yet, make it only drop on Mac and exclude PC entirely. That'll show them. I'm wildin'.